Hi friends, today we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. Our last lesson we talked about the discriminant, which is part of the quadratic formula and tells us how many solutions there's going to be. This b squared minus 4ac was our discriminant. The whole quadratic formula, which is just another way to solve quadratic equations and find the values of x, is x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, that whole thing divided by 2a. And a cannot be 0 in this case. So if we look here, a is 2, b is negative 7, c is negative 9. So if we plug that into our formula, x equals the opposite of b. b is negative 7, so the opposite of that would be positive 7, plus or minus the square root. b squared, take away 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. So if I put the discriminant into my calculator, the b squared minus 4ac, I get x equals 7 plus or minus the square root of 121, all divided by 4. 2 times 2 is 4. So here we see the discriminant is 121, which means there's going to be 2 real roots or 2 real solutions. So I know I should have 2 answers here when I'm done. Let's continue to simplify. The square root of 121 is 11. So then we have 7 plus 11 divided by 4. And x equals 7 minus 11 divided by 4. If I continue to simplify, 7 plus 11 is 18, and 18 divided by 4 is 4.5. 7 minus 11 is negative 4, and negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. So our 2 answers then are 4.5 and negative 1. Let's look at another one. X squared minus 4x plus 4. So a is 1, b is negative 4, c is positive 4. X equals the opposite of b, so positive 4 plus or minus the square root of b squared, take away 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. If I simplify here, x equals 4 plus or minus. If I put the discriminant part into my calculator, again, just this part into my calculator, I get 0. Oops. Divided by 2. So here our discriminant is 0, which means we're going to have 1 real root. So we're only going to have 1 answer here. Well, the square root of 0 is just 0, and we said we're only going to have 1 answer. We could technically say x equals 4 plus 0 divided by 2, and x equals 4 minus 0 divided by 2, but both of those are going to give us the same answer of x equals 2. So again, we don't technically need to do both of these since it's going to give us the same answer. 9x squared plus 6x plus 1. So a is 9, b is 6, c is 1. X equals the opposite of b, so negative 6 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. If I put my discriminant into the calculator, 6 squared minus 4 times 9 times 1 will give us 0 again. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 0 all over 18. So again, our discriminant is 0, so we have 1 real root. So our answer here is just negative 6 divided by 18, which we should simplify and say is negative 1/3. X squared plus 12x minus 13. A is 1, B is 12, C is negative 13. So x equals the opposite of b, negative 12, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. If I put the discriminant into my calculator, I would get 196. So x equals negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 196, all divided by 2. Since the discriminant is positive, we're going to have 2 real roots. The square root of 196 is 14. So we get x equals negative 12 plus 14 divided by 2. And x equals negative 12 minus 14 divided by 2. Continuing to simplify. I should tell you, if you're going to try to put this in the calculator as one big problem, you have to make sure you put parentheses around the top. So parentheses, negative 12 plus 14 divided by 2, and that will give us 1. And parentheses, negative 12 minus 14 divided by 2 gives us negative 13. X squared minus 8x minus 9. A is 1, B is negative 8, C is negative 9. So x equals the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared, take away 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. Putting the discriminant into my calculator, I would get 100. So 8 plus or minus the square root of 100 divided by 2. Since our discriminant is positive, we'll have 2 real roots. Square root of 100 is 10. So x equals 8 plus 10 divided by 2. And 8 minus 10 divided by 2. 8 plus 10 is 18, divided by 2 is 9. 8 minus 10 is negative 2, divided by 2 is negative 1. All right, one more. A is 2, B is negative 3, C is negative 5. So x equals the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. Putting the discriminant into my calculator, I would get 49. So x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 49 divided by 4. Since our discriminant is positive, we'll have 2 real roots. So remember, that means I should have 2 answers. Square root of 49 is 7. So x equals 3 plus 7 divided by 4. And x equals 3 minus 7 divided by 4. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. All right, friends, have a nice day.